Thanks to the strong leadership and immediate action by the governor, county executive, and the mayor, and the enormous personal and financial sacrifices each and every New Jerseyan has made, we are in a much better place today. Together, we've flattened the curve, we've prevented our hospitals from being overrun, we drove down our infection rate and saved lives. But that progress has come at a price. Businesses have closed. Many that are open are still only so at reduced capacity. Thousands upon thousands of our fellow New Jerseyans remain out of work. Our economy has taken a hit, and we're not out of it yet. Unfortunately, while we in New Jersey were working hard to stop the spread, taking responsible, prudent steps and listening to the science and the experts, other states failed to heed our warnings. As we suffered, as we said goodbye to over nearly 16,000 of our loved ones, friends, and neighbors, many ignored the threat, failed to act, and allowed the virus to rage across this country. And because people travel, as long as there is a strong presence of COVID-19 anywhere in America, it can spread everywhere in America. The virus knows no borders, no corner of the country has been spared. And so a national emergency requires a national response. But to this day, 6 months into the pandemic, we still have no national plan coming out of Washington, none. We have no plan to contain the virus, no plan for widespread testing and contact tracing, no plan to ramp up production of vaccines and critical supplies, nothing. All we're getting out of this White House are mixed messages that sow division, undermine science, politicize wearing a mask, and ultimately desensitize the American people to the real public health threat facing us all. Now, Donald Trump did not create coronavirus, but he has done virtually nothing to stop it. Other countries have been able to figure it out, but somehow the greatest country on the planet cannot. It's a global embarrassment. The abject failure by the president has cost American lives, exacerbated the economic pain, and set our nation back years, if not a decade. Americans are dying, they're suffering, and the suffering will only continue. Right now, millions of folks don't know if they still have a job tomorrow. Many are weeks, if not days, from losing their homes. Some cannot even afford basic necessities. States, counties, and cities are literally running out of money. People are angry, they're frustrated, they're scared, and they are turning to Washington for help. Democrats understand the billions we've already delivered to help our hospitals, the unemployed, small businesses, and more, is still not enough to address the growing need. Yet we have been forced to wait and wait and wait for Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and Republicans to come to the table. 2 months ago, the Speaker and Senator Schumer, the Democratic leader, sent the President and Senator McConnell a letter saying, we are going to need to deal with the continuing challenges of the pandemic. Come and negotiate with us. And there was no response. They've let months pass while the virus has taken hold and our economy crumbles. The temporary ban on evictions ended last Friday. The ban on foreclosures will lapse next month. Next month is Saturday. And the extra $600 a week in federal unemployment benefits will expire this week. In response, all we got this past week was hopeless scrambling, Republican infighting, and a President and Senate Majority Leader who have yet to put up a serious proposal that will actually help the American people. The reality is, just like healthcare, they have no plan, but we do. I say this, if you cannot lead, then get out of the way. The President insisted on punting the response to this national pandemic to states, and now he wants to leave them holding the bag. Already nearly 1.5 million state and local workers have been furloughed or laid off. That's only since February, and double the total local public sector jobs we lost during the entire Great Recession more than a decade ago. It would be the height of irony, and a horrible one, that the men and women we've needed the most, emergency management, public health nurses, all of the public employees that have been part of helping us meet the pandemic would be the ones that would be fired as a result of the economic distress that the virus has created. We're talking about first responders, teachers, nurses, public health, and other essential workers. We need them on the job, not the unemployment line. That's why any new stimulus package must include money for state and local governments. So far, Mitch McConnell is offering zero. But I'm leading a bipartisan effort to deliver $500 billion of frontline states, counties, and municipalities. Every single town, city, and county, regardless of its size, would qualify for direct funding. No one is left out. The SMART Act targets these federal dollars to the areas with the greatest need based on infection rate and lost revenues. The flexible funding can help avoid tax hikes and service cuts, pay for expanded testing and contact tracing, help small businesses, and better serve residents. We need a comprehensive stimulus package that extends unemployment benefits, not cuts them, as Republicans are trying to do. We need greater housing protections for renters and homeowners and seniors to halt the impending storm of evictions and foreclosures. I have several bills that do exactly that. We need to address the stark reality that if you're black or brown, you're more likely to be infected or die from COVID-19. We have legislation to deal with those disparities. We need more resources to support our hospitals and nursing homes. A trip to the nursing home shouldn't be a death sentence. To ramp up testing and vaccine production, to help struggling small businesses and transit systems, to close the digital divide so no student is left behind, and for childcare so parents can get back to work if they get a call to do so. So I keep saying to my colleagues in Washington, this isn't a red issue or a blue issue. It is a red, white, and blue issue. It is an American issue. For the longest period of time when we were suffering, I would tell my colleagues in Washington, what you see happening to us is coming your way. And maybe they didn't believe it, but it's there now. If Leader McConnell holds true to his word, these next couple of weeks, we have 2 more weeks before the Senate goes to recess. I don't believe we should go into recess until we finished a package. There is no reason that the American people should wait. So the hell with the recess as far as I'm concerned. But if there was a negotiation going on, we could get this done. But if you listen to Senator McConnell, these last 2 weeks are the last chance. We have to pass another stimulus before the next rent or mortgage payment is due, or when state and local governments have to pass constitutionally required balanced budgets. It may be the last chance we have this year. The stakes are high. The pain being felt by countless New Jerseyans is real and palpable. If we don't get this right, if the President and Mitch McConnell refuse to put partisan ideology aside, more people will suffer, and sadly, more will die. When I leave this press conference, I'm heading back to Washington for a session where we're going to continue to fight for what we need in Newark and Essex County and throughout New Jersey to defeat COVID-19.